This is 5 Minute Friday on a daily technical exercise. At the beginning of the new year, in episode number 538, I introduced the practice of habit tracking and provided you with a template habit tracking spreadsheet. Then we had a series of 5 Minute Fridays that revolved around daily habits I espouse, and that theme continues again today. The habits we covered in January and February were related to my morning routine. Starting last week, we began coverage of habits on intellectual stimulation and productivity. Specifically, last week's habit was reading 2 pages. This week, we're moving onward with doing a daily technical exercise. In my case, this is either a mathematics, computer science, or programming exercise. The reason why I have this daily technical exercise habit is that data science is both a limitlessly broad field as well as an ever-evolving field. If we keep learning on a regular basis, we can expand our capabilities and open doors to new professional opportunities. This is one of the driving ideas behind the 66 Days of Data hashtag, which, if you haven't heard of it before, is detailed in episode number 555 with Ken G, who originated the now ubiquitous hashtag. As a bonus, hopefully you picked a career in data science because you find learning fun. Assuming so, then aiming to hone a new technical skill every day should be intrinsically rewarding for you too. This intrinsic reward is a shared characteristic of this week's technical exercise habit and last week's reading habit. Beyond aiming to learn something technical every day, I'm not sure the specific subject area matters as much. The key again is simply to keep learning. That said, you might be curious why I choose to focus on math, computer science, and programming as the subject areas in my daily technical exercise habit. Well, these subject areas, as detailed in episode number 556, form the central underlying foundations to being an outstanding data scientist or machine learning practitioner. Secondly, these subject areas are often challenging, which makes pursuing them rewarding. Thirdly, these subject areas are interwoven with each other, and for me, discovering these interdisciplinary connections is especially exhilarating. And fourth, these subject areas are effectively infinite in scope, meaning in all the years I'm alive, I'll never run out of a wide variety of exciting new math, CS, or programming topics to dig into. So hopefully I've convinced you that this could be a great habit to adopt. If you happen to be looking for an interactive online resource to get you going, in no particular order, my top 3 recommendations are the Khan Academy for math concepts in general. They also have programming content, but it's mostly focused on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, so not necessarily the most directly relevant to data science, though if you're keen on data visualization or user interaction, these are some of the top programming languages to know. Anyway, for interactive data science specific education, I'm a big fan of DataQuest, so you can check that out. And if you're keen to learn linear algebra or calculus for machine learning specifically, then you can undertake my free hands-on intros to those subject areas on YouTube. I've got the linear algebra course as well as the calculus for machine learning course all ready to go. And then if you're looking for book recommendations, if you're a regular listener of the Super Data Science podcast, then you're aware that we end almost every guest episode by asking the guest for a book recommendation. For your convenience, we've collated these recommendations for you in the Super Data Science podcast virtual library, which you can access for free at superdatascience.com/books. That's superdatascience.com/books. In terms of specific technical books that I recommend, for general data science modeling approaches, check out the classic Introduction to Statistical Learning by James Whitten Hasty and Tib Shirani. For digging into the relevant math of computer science specifically, so kind of bringing together my interest in math, computer science, and programming all into one, I recently discovered Graham, Knuth, and Patashnik's proper university textbook called Concrete Mathematics to be a delight. And finally, if you're interested in deep learning in particular, then of course I've got to plug my book, Deep Learning Illustrated. Like the other habits that I've already covered in my 5 Minute Friday episodes on my daily habits, I choose to log my math, computer science, or programming habit as a binary habit. So either I work through at least one exercise on a given day or I didn't. So using the habit tracking template that I introduced in episode number 538, I set the min column for this math, CS, or programming row of the spreadsheet to 0 and the max column to to 1. All right, that's it for today. I hope you found this episode to be practical, and I'm looking forward to catching you on another round of Super Data Science very soon.